All right. What? All right. Good afternoon, everyone. We'll call to order, establish quorum, and then kick this meeting off. So upon the receipt of a completed application in response to the request for applications issued pursuant to New York Racing Pari-Mutuel Wagering and Breeding Law Title 2A, the Gaming Commission established a community advisory committee for our applicant MGM Empire City. Pursuant to statute, a Community Advisory Committee, or CAC, shall consist of 5 members appointed by the governor, the New York City mayor, the Yonkers mayor, the state senator, state assembly member who represent the district where the proposed facility is to be located, and the county executive and the locality senior official. This present meeting of the MGM Empire City Community Advisory Committee is now called to order. Establishment of a quorum requires 3 members to be present. Please indicate when your name is called. Joe Apicella.
Here.
James Kavanaugh.
Here.
Maria Fernandez.
Here.
Larry Wilson.
Here.
Frank Jarrett.
Here.
The record will reflect that a quorum of qualified members is present, thus enabling transaction of business. Jim, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you. All right, first order of business would be consideration of the minutes for our organizational meeting on July 24th. The committee members have all gotten a copy of those minutes. I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes unless anyone has any corrections or changes.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make such a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, the minutes are approved. Next item is a presentation from MGM. I will ask MGM to introduce the team. We expect a 45, 50-minute presentation. Then we will have questions from committee members. I will say in advance that the committee has access to the redacted and unredacted application materials by MGM. So I would ask that any committee members that make specific references to application materials not make specific references to anything that is in the redacted application, because that would be business that would violate confidentiality. So please keep your comments, if any, to the unredacted version. If the committee members do want to discuss things that were redacted, we could go into executive session if need be. So with that, I will turn it over to MGM, introduce your team, and please make your presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon. My name is Louis Theros, President and COO of Empire City Casino. On behalf of our entire Empire City team, thank you for your volunteerism sitting on this very important CAC. I'm excited to be here today, not for myself or MGM, but for our employees and the city of Yonkers, especially as our project is the only proposal not in New York City. Rather, it sits in the 3rd largest city, Yonkers. We're here today to gain your approval and a finding of community support for our proposed transformation of the current Empire City Casino into a full-fledged casino and entertainment complex. I know we've been asked to keep the presentation to around 45 minutes or so. Might be a little bit longer. We'll see what we can do to not go too far over. So let me introduce the team here today. To my left, Chacha Ye, our Executive Director of Food and Beverage. Next to Chacha is Jonathan Cosiola, our Vice President of Finance. Taryn Duffy, President of Tarsam Public Relations, who has been part of Empire for about 15 years now, 14 years. To our right at the end here, we have Christine Faverio and Mike Larson, our architects from JCJ. And of course, to my right, our good counselor here in Yonkers, Westchester, Mark Weingart. Many on this team have been involved in this project for years. I'm the new guy on the block, so I may rely on them to answer some of the questions as we go around today, but they all have a part in making the presentation this afternoon. Our presentation will cover the history of the property in a summary, its current operations and contributions, and the future casino entertainment project. Most importantly, what you'll hear throughout the presentation is that our project has taken into consideration the comments of the neighbors, the city, and surrounding businesses. Meetings with stakeholders and citizens began 14 years ago while the Rooneys still owned the Empire Casino, and intensified when MGM assumed ownership in 2019. This included inviting the public to Empire City on many occasions to hear about these plans. And as we will show you toward the end of the presentation, there is widespread community support for this project. The entire Empire City story itself is very fascinating. It's truly an iconic part of Yonkers history. It sits on 95 acres of land that has operated for over 125 years. 125 years as a racetrack and 20 as a VLT facility. During those many years, it has provided community benefits, including but not limited to taxes to the state, city, and county, the engagement and support of local suppliers and vendors, support of the horse industry, philanthropy, and most importantly, the building of careers for the residents of Yonkers and the surrounding communities. Yonkers Raceway is one of the oldest and well-known racetracks in the country. So much so, Seabiscuit raced there twice and won both times, not unsurprisingly. 20 years ago, the Rooney family created Empire City Casino as a video lottery facility. Construction occurred in 2005, 2006. Additional construction happened between 2011 and 2013. In 2019, MGM Resorts joined the Empire legacy and invested over $1 billion in purchasing and improving Empire. Some of those improvements you see on the right. It is now home to the country's 6th largest gaming floor. And what we will show you today is the next step in Empire's history. Its development into a full-scale casino and entertainment complex, which will deliver long-term economic and community value for the city of Yonkers, Westchester County, and the state for yet another 100 years. And during all these first 100 years, Yonkers Raceway and Empire City have built a long and strong relationship with the city of Yonkers, as evidenced by the letter of support this committee received just yesterday from the city and the many prominent announcements of support from the city throughout this years-long process. The same letter set forth the terms of a community benefits agreement that we have agreed to in principle with the city. More will come on that later. Let me assure you, Empire has been, is, and will continue to be the best and responsible corporate citizen it can be to Yonkers, its residents, and the community. And that is especially true for our employees. They are the celebrities of this pitch. They have built careers at Empire and have been waiting for this opportunity to finally arrive. At present, we have approximately 745 employees. 35% of them are Yonkers residents. 53% come from Westchester County. A third have been with us for 15 years, 11 greater than 30, and we have one racetrack employee who has over 40 years with our establishment. Importantly, our team is very diverse, matching the fabric of Yonkers and the surrounding communities. I've had the privilege to work at 4 different MGM properties, and this is important to us. And each property where I work, the diversity of those properties matched the location in which they sit. Close to 80% of our employees are unionized. The vast majority of our new employees will likewise be members of one of the 12 unions we have on property. Since 2019, MGM has doubled the total payroll of Empire, increasing the number of employees and having an average pay and benefits package worth approximately $150,000 per employee. Again, unlike the Greenfield proposals that won't exist for years, Empire City has been contributing to the state and city in the payment of gaming taxes for 20 years and will continue to do so during construction. Over $5 billion since the opening of the VLT facility, with $1.5 billion in the last 5 years alone just from MGM. And of that, $330 million is state annual aid returned to Yonkers, averaging approximately $19.6 million annually. And not to forget our strong support for harness racing, which will continue after this project is finalized. We have paid $935 million in purses since 2009, with $310 million of that, again, just in the last 5 years from MGM, since MGM took ownership. And not only do we support race purses, we also pay other funds that help the horse breeders and agriculture and the horse culture in New York State. And last but not least, MGM has paid over $36 million in property taxes and other variable tax payments in just the last 5 years. MGM's support, however, does not end with its employees, the city, and horse racing. It involves the businesses in the community. MGM's New York vendor spend has tripled in the last 3 years. And our spend with Yonkers-based businesses is up 45% in just the last 2 years. And we'll always look to expand to do more with local and diverse suppliers, not just for operations, but for the construction and operation and expansion of the facility. We have hosted or participated in over 50 events with current and prospective suppliers in just the last 3 years anticipating this project. We work with local and national organizations, including those working with and promoting diverse suppliers. MGM intends to meet New York State's 30% MWBE and 6% SDVOB contract utilization rates for the project's construction and ongoing capital projects. And as while we're talking about vendors, MGM has a long history of mentoring our suppliers as they grow to expand their businesses to meet not just MGM's needs, but the needs of their other customers as well. MGM Resorts has mentored over 135 businesses when it began its mentorship projects, with 19% of them New York based. Here's a picture of John with Chris Scholler from Park Lane Graphics, just one of the WBEs with which we work. We're also fortunate to engage local business Rose Press to print and assemble our 40,000 page RFA submission. For some reason, they let me in the picture. I almost ruined it, but John's always better than the pictures than I am. More room, yeah. And MGM is also very proud of its philanthropic efforts in the community. Since 2019, over $1 million of giving to a variety of Yonkers and Westchester's organizations. These include, but aren't limited to, the Yonkers Community Action Program, Yonkers YMCA, and Feeding Westchester. And our employees are just as engaged. Over the years, they've contributed thousands and thousands of hours dedicated to the community. Over 1,600 hours in just 2024, with more coming as we hire new employees to operate our expansion. So now that we've discussed the past and current efforts and contributions of Empire City, let us welcome you to the show and what the future of Empire Casino looks like. Mark?
Thank you, Louis. Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, my name is Mark Weingarten. I'm a partner in the law firm of Delbello, Donnellon, Weingarten, Wise, and Wiedeker, and I am genuinely honored to be here this afternoon representing MGM Yonkers, Inc. For those of you who don't know me or my firm, I'd like to take a moment to explain why this project is so personal to us. My firm and I have deep Yonkers roots. Former Lieutenant Governor Al Delbello and I, and former Yonkers Mayor Al Delbello, we formed this firm with 3 other partners more than 30 years ago, actually last month, 30 years ago. I assure you, if he was still with us, he would be giving this presentation. As our firm has grown to one of the largest and most respected law firms in the Hudson Valley, and we have been privileged to play a role in billions of dollars of economic development. I grew up in Yonkers on Bronx River Road, about a mile away from the racetrack, then Yonkers Raceway. I am a proud product of Yonkers Public Schools. My dad was a Yonkers City Court judge, and my mom ran the local PTA. Yonkers is our hometown, and this project is very personal to us. Our firm has been and continues to be involved in many of the iconic economic development projects taking place in this wonderful city, as it finally, after decades of inactivity, strives to reach its potential. Yonkers is now finally taking steps forward to its rightful place as the 3rd largest city in New York State. The city's waterfront, which we can see out the window, recently an underutilized industrial impediment, now houses beautiful new residents with spectacular Hudson River views and riverfront walkways only once dreamed of. The companies building these new homes for Yonkers residents, many of them are national leaders who would have never thought of investing in Yonkers until a short time ago. The momentum is building for this great city, and we must keep moving it forward. But while all this is occurring on the city's west side, Empire City remains the economic engine which anchors the east side of the city. The thought of bringing a world-class entertainment facility finally answers the age-old question, why not Yonkers? We deserve it here, and we have the support of our community for our proposal. The subject property has been an essential part of the fabric of the city for as long as I can remember. I remember vividly growing up that a number of my childhood friends and neighbors' parents worked second jobs at night and on the weekends at Yonkers Raceway to provide for their families. These jobs were sought after. In 2006, Empire City Casino opened. It has grown to be the 6th largest gaming floor in the nation. MGM is proud to be Yonkers' largest private employer. MGM now seeks to invest an additional $2.3 billion in the property to create a new state-of-the-art first-class casino and entertainment venue. Before MGM could do that, it was required to participate in a rigorous 18-month local approval process. In January 2024, MGM initiated the process by petitioning the Yonkers City Council for a zone change. The existing industrial zoning at that time would not permit an entertainment venue. It didn't even permit the current gaming use. MGM therefore petitioned the city to create a new casino district in its zoning ordinance and to map the newly created district to the site. Before the city council was allowed to vote on the zoning change request, the city was required to comply with the New York State Environmental Quality Review Act, known as SEQRA. The lead agency in this process was the Planning Board, which adopted a positive declaration of environmental significance. In other words, the Planning Board required MGM to submit to the highest level of environmental review permitted or required by New York State law. This means MGM was required to produce a draft environmental impact statement studying every potential significant environmental impact. The DEIS, which took a number of months to draft, was circulated for comments to all of the involved and interested agencies as required by law, was reviewed by city staff and its hired third-party consultants before it was accepted as complete in December of last year. Once deemed complete, the DEIS was circulated and published for public review, and a public hearing was set. Importantly, on December 4th of last year, the DEIS was accepted as complete, and prior to the public hearing, MGM met with the local civic organizations, including the Hyatt organization, which acted as host at the St. Barnabas Church, where more than 200 residents were in attendance. The public hearing was then conducted the following month on January 8th, and then 2 weeks later, a second informal public meeting was set at the invitation of the civic groups again, where the focus of the discussion was the DEIS. The formal written comment period was actually extended by the Planning Board to January 27th to permit the public who had attended the January 23rd informal meeting to have an opportunity to weigh in. So there was lots of opportunity for formal and informal discussion. As required, a final environmental impact statement, or FEIS, was drafted, which addressed all the questions and comments during the EIS process. It was adopted on April 9, 2025 by the Planning Board, and the Planning Board concluded its environmental review process by adopting environmental findings on April 24. These findings were adopted after months of work by the lead agency. The Planning Board, with significant public participation, identified all of the potential environmental impacts of MGM's proposal. The environmental findings statement imposes rigorous requirements to mitigate the identified impacts. Those mitigation measures amount to in excess of $100 million in traffic improvements, stormwater improvements, public safety improvements, landscape improvements, and much more. I assure you, as a professional in this field for many decades, the required conditions go far beyond the legal requirements that the state law imposes. MGM not only will be required to mitigate impacts to the extent practicable, but will go far beyond that legal standard to improve the existing condition, well beyond the requirements. After the findings were adopted, we went back to the City Council for a public hearing on the rezoning, and the rezoning, the casino special district, was adopted, and the site was mapped on June 25th. On June 27, MGM submitted its site plan, which fully conforms with the newly adopted zoning. The Planning Board granted site plan approval at its meeting on July 9. The bottom line of all this is that all necessary land use and environmental approvals are in place after much public participation. This project is permitted to proceed. It contains enormous benefits and improves conditions in the area. MGM now has the immediate right to apply for building permits upon the granting of a Class 3 gaming license. We are ready to go. So at this point, I'd like to turn it over to our architects who are going to take you through some of the plans and show you the visuals of what we plan on doing.
Thank you. My name is Mike Larson, and I'm a principal with JCJ Architecture, serving as project director for the reinvention of MGM Empire City. With decades of experience designing memorable resort and gaming properties all over the country, including 8 here in the great state of New York, we are grateful for this opportunity and proud to have our New York office leading the design efforts on what will be a transformational change for this property and the community. The expansion and renovation of MGM Empire City will be completely transformative, and we're excited to share those changes with you today. Some of the new amenities include 2 beautiful new casino entrances, including a full renovation of the existing porte cochere, a completely new casino floor, 9 new restaurants and 5 new bars, an entertainment and meeting space capable of holding up to 5,000 people, a new BetMGM sportsbook, a new parking garage with a rooftop solar array, and an improved employee experience and on-site dealer training school. From the beginning of the design process, 2 critical themes have guided our efforts: creating a world-class guest experience and improving this property to be a point of pride for the surrounding community. Today, we are happy to share with you the culmination of years of work with MGM and many local authorities, stakeholders, and neighbors, the result of which is a development that will serve all parties well for decades to come. The city of Yonkers, and more specifically our project site, sits at a very unique point of convergence. It borders both the urban metropolis that is New York City to the south, and is a gateway to the natural beauty of the surrounding New York countryside to the north. We drew upon this convergence as our inspiration for what the reinvented MGM Empire City should become. Something that is befitting of the energy of the city, yet appropriately shaped and scaled to fit the neighborhood, and responsive to the natural surroundings you experience as you move north out of the city. To accomplish this, we sought to leverage the shape of the existing building, the site topography, and other cues from the natural surroundings, including colors and materials, which you will hear about in more detail shortly. Here briefly is where we are starting from today. It is important to note that the horse track and buildings that exist today have a history stretching back over a century and have been expanded upon many times over the decades. Additionally, the city has grown around the site, resulting in many of the major site features we see today, including site access points and expansive surface parking lots. One of the comments that we heard repeatedly throughout the process was the need to address the sea of asphalt and the site's performance during rain events. I'm happy to say that the planned improvements to this site remove some 5 acres of asphalt, returning that land to beautified landscape. And we have also planned for an extensive subsurface stormwater retention facility that will capture 94% of site stormwater within the boundaries of the property. Here highlighted, you will see some of the major existing site features influencing our design. We sought to create a thoughtful expansion of the property that utilized the existing features and enhanced them such that we weren't just adding onto the property, but we were enhancing the function of this property from what it is today. This includes utilizing and improving site access points, which you see here highlighted on the screen, creating efficiency by maintaining familiar traffic patterns to which the public is already accustomed. Beyond just utilizing these site access points, we have performed an extensive analysis of the surrounding traffic patterns as part of our design solution. We will be working with the city traffic engineer to make various improvements to strategic intersections in the area, as well as providing a new turn lane into the property off Yonkers Avenue. These solutions have been developed working hand in hand with the city traffic and fire officials to ensure the best possible performance of vehicular traffic in and around the project site. As we look to locate the new building expansions, we keyed in on the existing racetrack, the existing casino, and the adjacent neighborhoods to guide our work. And we heard clearly that our neighbors wanted to maintain the residential character of their neighborhoods. With that, as you can see here, we focused our development on the commercial districts along Central Park Avenue and Yonkers Avenue, which keeps the higher density of our new buildings far away from the homes along Empire Street, Bainton Street, and Kimball Terrace. Of note, The location of our new parking garage will provide both efficient ingress and egress to the property while moving a very significant amount of the site traffic away from the residential neighborhoods. The casino expansion and theater are located to work in conjunction with the existing buildings while creating a new, beautiful public space of the property around the entire perimeter. As you can see here, in addition to the buildings, we have taken great care to enhance the natural features along the site perimeter as well, which will aid with the stormwater performance of the site while beautifying the area for the benefit of everybody enjoying the site or living nearby. The result of these efforts will mean the new MGM Empire City will be an enhanced and greener site than exists today, one that will function as the premier gaming and entertainment facility on the East Coast, providing a world-class guest experience, the likes of which MGM is known to provide at their properties worldwide. With that, I would like to introduce my colleague and the project's lead designer, Christine Faverio, to provide more detail on the project's architecture.
Thanks, Mike. Here we go. It's exciting to be here today to share our vision of how this design intends to transform the property to a world-class destination. The top photo tells a story of the many fragmented adaptations and additions that have occurred at the property over many decades. The image below proposes a singular architectural idea and expression. The existing building is completely encapsulated and the unsightly rooftop equipment is hidden behind a structure, which has the option to be lit at night with colors that celebrate the local identity of Yonkers. In place of the sea of asphalt that currently lies north of the casino, a new entertainment venue with amenities for the community to enjoy includes a theater and 2 meeting rooms. Similarly, the current entrance to the casino will be hidden, and an added screening device will bring a unifying architectural expression to this entrance. The existing valet drop-off and porte cochere has been reimagined by introducing new lighting, landscape, and natural materials. The design creates an experience for visitors that is reflective of the warm, welcoming nature of the Yonkers community. We've brought some samples today with us, which we have here on the side table, and you can hold them and you can really appreciate the elevated quality of the materials that are being specified for the project. Exceeding the requirement for parking spaces, this 4,800 car parking garage ensures that all visitors have access to a safe, convenient, and well-lit parking garage. The addition of a vehicular turning lane, upgraded traffic signals, new signage, landscape, and lighting all contribute to identifying this intersection as the main entrance, while alleviating the concerns of increased traffic that the community has expressed. At the other end of the parking garage, the south parking entrance is located where the natural grade slopes up from Yonkers Avenue. The second vehicular entrance allows guests to enter level 4 of the parking garage, which is the valet drop-off and main entrance to the casino and theater. The vehicular circulation routes to the parking garage and organization of the levels and internal ramping will ensure an even traffic flow within the parking garage, further reducing any potential backup of traffic out to Yonkers Avenue. The current condition at the property along Yonkers Avenue and Empire Streets will be replaced with a new fence, bands of drought-tolerant and indigenous planting, and new lighting. This enhanced landscape treatment along Yonkers Avenue will create a more pedestrian-friendly experience. As Mike mentioned, there will be a 5-acre reduction of asphalt surfaces replaced by this landscaping. This reduction will mitigate the urban heat island effect in Yonkers by providing shade and absorbing heat. In addition, many of the existing planting areas will be enhanced with new planting and trees. Here at the adjoining property line with residents at Trumbull and Empire Streets, a continuous landscape barrier will be planted to provide privacy, reduce noise pollution, and reduce stormwater runoff. So we'd like to share an animation that travels around the exterior of the property. For those of you watching at home, we apologize in advance if the internet transmission makes this video a little jumpy. The animation begins from the perspective of a guest traveling northbound on I-87 MGM signage has been strategically located to guide guests from I-87 directly to the south entrance. The architecture and landscape design re-envisions and completely transforms the public face of the property, making it a more memorable landmark for the thousands of people driving by it every day. The animation now jumps to the vehicular entry point at Yonkers Avenue. MGM signage has been strategically located on the corner of the parking garage to identify this point of entry. The added turning lane off Yonkers Avenue will ease the movement of cars from Yonkers Avenue onto the property sooner. This addition will minimize any potential buildup of traffic on Yonkers Avenue. The significant addition of landscape features softens and beautifies this business district, making the drive along Yonkers Avenue a much more pleasing experience. At the corner of Yonkers and Central Park Avenue, an MGM sign is visible to visitors traveling southbound, in sharp contrast to the harshness of I-87 and surrounding business district. The new public face for this property is intentionally designed to bring a calm sense of place that both the community and visitors can enjoy. This form of valet entry has been reconfigured to accommodate and give ample room for rideshare limos and taxis. The iconic MGM lion sits proudly at the center of it all and will surely be an Instagram moment. The animation jumps again, and we find ourselves looking down the hill towards Yonkers Avenue at the south entrance of the parking garage. Identified and thoughtful landscape features, lighting the signage and the south entrance becomes a memorable first impression for visitors. Cars ascend gently up the vehicular ramp, bringing them to levels 4 of this 8-story parking garage. The casino and theater entrance are located at this level. Self-parking visitors can continue to drive straight up the internal ramping system to levels 5 through 8, or turn left for valet. The parking garage is safe, well-lit, and with the use of carefully designed signage, easy to navigate. A gracious area is designed for relocated valet services. All self-parking visitors on all the other levels will take elevators to this level and then proceed to the casino and theater through the arrivals hall, where architecture and landscape commingle to create a welcoming atmosphere for all its guests. Visitors continue walking past Parm and the steakhouse restaurants before entering the casino. And this is where Cha-Cha will be sharing some more information about food and beverage amenities that are being updated and the new ones being added to the property.
Thank you, Christine. My name is Cha-Cha Ye, Executive Director at Empire City. I have been with MGM for nearly 15 years and the last 6 years at Empire City Casino. I'm very excited today to present the new MGM Empire City food and beverage lineup. In our new build, we will transform the existing pub into Tap Sports Bar and renovate the food court into Empire Market. As you can see, this is our steakhouse. As one of our new additions to MGM Empire City, our steakhouse will be a contemporary dining destination, offering a world-class fine dining experience for both casino and non-casino guests. Our menu will focus on only the highest quality ingredients. For example, the signature dry-aged ribeye dish will be aged to perfection over a minimum of 28 days before being prepared over select hardwoods. Our goal is to make New York City level fine dining and luxury easy accessible to the community. Right across from the steakhouse is Parm, a casual Italian-American eatery partnership with New York-based major food group. Parm features Italian-American favorites at an approachable price point. The venue at MGM Empire City is expected to make use of an open kitchen, allowing the guests to watch as their meals are prepared while still maintaining the warm and inviting atmosphere. Here we have Tap. Our currently existing pub will be transformed into Tap Sports Bar for MGM Empire City. MGM will introduce its own proven sports lounge brand to support local desire for a premier sports lounge experience. Uniquely envisioned for the MGM Empire City venue, Tap will partner with nearby breweries and distilleries to feature local product for a true taste of Yonkers. This is Empire Market. Our current food court will transform into a 5-station food hall, offering many local favorite foods, all under one convenient roof in a fast casual setting. At an average check cost of approximately $15 to $20, Empire Market has something for everyone. This venue will feature both indoor and outdoor dining experience. Noodles. Conveniently located next to the high limit area will be a fast casual dining destination offering authentic noodles, rice, and other signature dishes from Pan Asian cuisine. Noodles will be perfect for both quick bites and sitting down to enjoy the atmosphere. Last but not the least, our employee dining room. Empire City Casino currently provides, and MGM Empire City will continue to provide, one free hot meal with a wide variety of food selection every workday. The new employee dining room is tucked away on the mezzanine level of the property, a short distance off the gaming floor, allowing employees a quick trip to enjoy the meal in a comfortable, lively space flooded with natural light. Together, we believe that we have a food and beverage lineup reflects our commitment to quality, sustainability, and community partnership. I will now hand it over back to Mike to go through more interior of the casino.
The renovation to the existing casino will be a completely new experience from what exists today. The new MGM Empire City will be a blend of contemporary sophistication with materials and style cues that provide a subtle Art Deco nod to one of New York's most visible periods of high design. Warm, bright, and consistent lighting will cover the entirety of the gaming floor. Casino pathways will be identified by stone flooring underfoot with beautiful custom chandeliers above, all of which will provide easy wayfinding throughout the casino. Whether you arrive via rideshare, valet, or the parking garage, all casino pathways converge on the jewel of the casino floor, which is the center bar. One half of which will be a walk-up bar providing cocktails and bar top gaming while adding to the excitement of the adjacent table games. Just around the corner from the walk-up bar, guests can enter the center bar, which features table games, lounge space, and a bar with bar top games, all within a semi-enclosed space that oozes energy and sophistication. Along the south side of the casino will be the new BetMGM Sports Betting Lounge. This amenity will have bar and lounge space facing the casino with high-definition screens everywhere, broadcasting sports games with no seat missing any of the action. Inside, beyond the casino-facing bar, will be an immersive sports viewing experience featuring a curved, high-definition LED video wall, which will envelop guests in the action. With bars and food served from the other property outlets, guests will enjoy sports events like never before. This property's long history of wagering, BetMGM will be a state-of-the-art venue ushering in the next century of sports betting at this property. For those looking for high-stakes play, our new casino expansion will house a high-limit gaming salon featuring separate high-limit slots and table games areas separated by a chic bar and lounge. The high-limit table games area will include popular table games, including Baccarat, within the most elegant of surroundings. And for those wishing for enhanced privacy, private gaming salons will also be available. But MGM properties are more than just gaming. They are about entertainment. And I would like to bring back my colleague Christine to take you through what will be one of the most exciting additions to the city of Yonkers in many years, the new MGM Empire City Theater.
This animation begins at the casino. Visitors attending events walk from the parking garage through the casino to this connector. For minors attending special events, alternative circulation from the parking garage directly to this connector will circumvent walking through the casino. Turning right before entering the theater, meeting rooms are available for community functions. As shown in this view, a dividing wall provides flexibility to open the two smaller meeting rooms into one larger space. This impressive two-story theater lobby opens up to a balcony level above. Glazing at each end of the lobby looks out to the new landscaping. The loge bar is tucked below the elevators to the balcony level. Each of the 4 levels has its own lobby and bar. The activity inside the loge and mezzanine lobbies will be visible and energize the adjacent business districts on Yonkers and Central Park Avenues. As seen in this view, the lowest level opens up to the mezzanine level above. Both the event and mezzanine levels offer visitors unique experiences. Tucked away from the bustle of the mezzanine lobby, this lounge provides a personal and intimate experience for VIP guests. Picking up where we left off at the loge level, this state-of-the-art theater has been designed with flexibility to support a diversity of productions for the Yonkers community to enjoy and for generations to come. Bringing world-class entertainment to Yonkers, this theater provides a variety of seating options, providing a wide range of experiences to its guests. Here in the foreground, VIP guests enjoy the comfort of upholstered banquet seating with ample room to enjoy the show. At the edges of the proscenium, countertop seating provides a unique way to socialize during an event and engage in the performance. And set up for big headliners, the flexibility of the venue is best seen at the event level, where general admission and various seating arrangements are possible. To support the need for community meetings, the space can be reduced in scale with the addition of draperies on the upper levels, chandeliers hung from rigging above, and the addition of conference furniture. Without a doubt, this venue will provide the community with an array of memorable experiences. And most importantly, the venue will significantly enrich Yonkers community through performance, contributing to the community's sense of place and becoming a source of pride for Yonkers. The architecture and landscape design brings in new vitality and energy to the property, conveying an inviting feeling to visitors and establishing the property as a world-class destination. And now Mike will share a little bit about the team of consultants that are making this development a reality.
JCJ Architecture is proud to be the architect of record and lead designer for this project. But as you can see on the screen, a great many design firms across many design disciplines have joined us to make this project a reality. It is important to note that a significant number of these firms are local, New York-based, women and minority-owned firms, all making tremendous contributions to the success of this project.
All right, thank you, Mark, Christine, and Mike. And as you all just saw, our current status as a gaming facility and the new design align with economic plans of Yonkers and the community. While the proposed built from scratch projects are trying to squeeze a square peg into a round hole, we fit. Square peg, square hole. And the last slide centers appropriately on the entertainment venue. Entertainment is in MGM's DNA. As a lifelong musician myself, and yes, I'm in a dad garage band still, it's still, you have to beat the drums wild, get the stress out. I am excited. I don't think I'll ever play there, but we're excited to have this venue. MGM is one of the largest entertainment providers in the world. We look forward to leveraging MGM's buying power to activate our our entertainment venue upwards of 70 times a year. This will bring great shows to Yonkers and the surrounding community. And based on community comments, as you heard, we've incorporated meeting rooms in this entertainment complex. This will allow community groups to use them for their meetings. Additionally, as we've seen on other MGM properties, including those that I've worked on, the larger center space is often used by local high schools and colleges to hold their graduation ceremonies. We look forward to having and hosting these community events on this property. As the architects, as Christine and Mike were saying, this project is Empire growing thoughtfully within the community. And a major part of that, there's additional items that is in addition to what we've already been doing and what we're going to do. So let me turn to those. We talked earlier about all the great benefits we've provided, the tax payments, the careers we've built. But now let's talk about what's coming with this project in terms of our agreements with the city, both in the FEIS process, what we're going to do individually as a property, and what's coming through in our agreed in principle community benefits. As Mark described, our FEIS has been approved, and therein MGM with the CBA has pledged over $100 million in community mitigation and other benefits. Some of them listed here. $2 million annually to fund Sector 2, that means the area around our property, police officers 24/7, 365. 42 modernized and updated traffic intersections up to a mile away from the property that will move traffic and, most importantly, emergency and police vehicles more smoothly. A lot of other things they will do as well. And of course, the stormwater retention that the architects addressed in their presentation. Separately, MGM will address some of the community concerns with other improvements as we scale up operations. We will increase the number of security and peace officers on our payroll to assist with larger crowds and events. We will continue our decades-long partnership with the Yonkers Police Department, including hiring extra YPD to help us on events and holidays. We will increase our EMS services available on property, and we will double the size of our EVS team and our facilities team to keep the property clean inside and out. And as I mentioned earlier, just yesterday, we have agreed in principle with the city on a community benefits agreement that will bring fantastic benefits to the community. These include a $10 million purchase and renovation of a new library and community center, $2 million to fund small business facade improvements on the business's Yonkers Avenue, a $1.5 million initial payment, and $500,000 annually thereafter for economic development and community needs, $2 million for Yonkers Avenue streetscape improvements, and $1.25 million for parks improvements. Additionally, our commitments include looking forward to hiring and giving preference to qualified Yonkers residents and county residents for construction operations jobs, including, and Taryn will talk about those more in depth when we talk about our outreach in terms of hiring and vendors. We are grateful with the relationship we have with the city to get these done. So before I turn to Jonathan and Taryn, I did want to cover two other topics briefly: responsible gaming and marketing. Responsible gaming has long been a core value at MGM Resorts. It's the right thing to do for our customers, our industry, our community, and our businesses. Our responsible gaming platform is called GameSense. We have adopted GameSense throughout the entire of MGM Resorts. It is the leading platform for responsible gaming. We want customers to come and game responsibly, to see this as a form of entertainment. So if they're choosing to go to the movies or eat somewhere else, they choose to come here. We want to help problem gamers. And so we, in addition to having GameSense on property at over 5,000 different touch points on property, front of house and back of house, we've also partnered with the New York State Office of Addiction Services and Supports and its Mid-Hudson Prevention Center to provide outreach and awareness sessions on property, in addition to the resources and literature for guests about problem gaming and how to self-exclude if they want to exclude themselves from the property. We also know that the New York Council on Problem Gaming is asking many things of whomever wins these licenses. And two of the main things are on-property problem gaming ambassadors and support for research on problem gaming. Empire already has 125 trained GameSense ambassadors on property and has for decades supported research on problem gaming. Additionally, we provide responsible alcohol service training to our employees. Having come from the legal side of MGM, I've worked with this for 8-10 years. It's very important. It is in our DNA just as much as entertainment. So let's switch to marketing for a moment. MGM Resorts is one of the largest regional operators in the gaming industry. 5 of the 15 highest performing regional properties are MGM properties. We're hoping this becomes the 6th. Our worldwide loyalty program has over 50 million members with 3 million rated players within 200 miles of Yonkers. We can market MGM Empire City to all those players. And one of our key priorities, of course, is to have New York residents to play in state. We expect 9 to 10% of new revenue will come from New York residents who decide to stay and play local rather than to drive out of state. We'll also cross-sell Yonkers with our other regional properties, which we already do today, where we send customers between our properties east of the Mississippi to come visit each other. We know that that is effective in promoting all of our properties in the region. We are confident that we can bring new players, including tourists, to New York once we are a full-fledged casino and entertainment complex. Now I'll turn it to Jonathan, and he can explain some of the future benefits of the project.
Sounds good. Thank you, Louis. Good afternoon, Jonathan Cochiola, Vice President of Finance. Just like Mark said, I could echo this project is near and dear to me. I joined the property back in 2013, and back then the thought was that table games would be here within 2 years. So this is a long time coming, and it's truly an honor to be in this room talking about this project and what the potential could be. Empire City has been a steady revenue stream for the city of Yonkers since its inception. In the future, we hope to double our impact to the city of Yonkers as we hit our steady state of commercial gaming operations. In the future state, as a commercial gaming facility, the city of Yonkers will receive 10% of the gaming tax from MGM Empire City. As such, as the property succeeds, the city shares in our success. Historically, the city of Yonkers has received $19.6 million annually from Empire's gaming tax in the form of municipal aid, in addition to payments from the pilot, which is inclusive of a variable impact payment. It is anticipated that the city will receive $56 million in funding annually, which is double the current revenue stream from Empire City, and our plan would be that that number will continue to increase over time. This increase in revenue to the city of Yonkers is from our projected 183 table games, 3,073 slot machines, 177 electronic table games, all serviced by more than 2,200 FTEs. Empire City is a VLT facility that will be converted into a commercial gaming facility. But why is that important? Being a converted property means that not only is our future operation subject to an education funding make-whole, but it also means that the host city, Yonkers, and regional counties, Westchester, share in the gaming tax revenue, which is expected to be in the tens of millions of dollars in the coming years. This is not the same for greenfield or new development projects. Their funding goes to the education fund and the MTA, not to the host city nor the regional counties. Being a converted facility means that our development will not just be a one-time infusion to the city of Yonkers, we will be a steady stream of revenue to the city and county for decades to come. And more on our partnerships, I will pass it off to Tara.
Good afternoon. My name is Taryn Duffy. For the past 14 years, I have been working to secure this commercial casino license that Yonkers has long sought. So to say that I am proud and excited to be here today is an understatement. Over those 14 years as head of public affairs for Empire City, I have been embedded in this community, ever present at events, and with most local residents having my email and cell phone number that they use at all hours of the day and night. I have spoken with thousands of residents and business owners. The question that I have heard over and over again is, when will Empire City get that full gaming license and reach its full potential? Their excitement for this day and what it means for this city has never wavered. I have presented at and held hundreds of meetings, large and small, to share MGM's vision and to hear what our community values the most. The development plans presented here today reflect that input, including ideas and feedback from many of the organizations featured on this slide, and many more not listed. Support for this project has been consistent and broad, reaching across Yonkers, Westchester, and the Bronx. Yonkers Raceway has been operating, as had been said here today, since 1899, and Empire City Casino was built by local union trade members in 2005, and again in 2012 during a $50 million expansion. No one knows the positive impact of private capital investment better than the building and construction trade unions. The multi-billion-dollar investment by MGM Resorts will generate over 6,500 union construction jobs, nearly 4 million man-hours. We are finalizing a project labor agreement with union leaders and look forward to having them build the next chapter of this property. Union leaders repeatedly tell us that they appreciate MGM's transparency and commitment to a shovel-ready project, not a plan for what may be built in 5, 10, or 20 years from now, because too often projects are promised but never built. This is real, it is ready, and it is happening now. These are jobs that our tradespeople need now, and we're really excited to create them. And so these union leaders, they know the labor market and the business landscape better than anyone. And we're proud to have included dozens of letters of support from our union partners as part of our commercial casino license. And some of the excerpts from those letters of support include, and I'm quoting, MGM has continuously showed their commitment to have a positive influence on both their employees as well as the community at large. Teamsters Local 456 currently has a high density of vastly skilled workers within the city of Yonkers and surrounding areas who are ready, willing, and able to perform work. Maintaining a vital role in the local communities and participation in this project allows us to continue to do so by patronizing local businesses and supporting the local economy. Quote, they have earned the trust of Westchester and Bronx communities, employees, vendors, and partners alike. Quote, the unparalleled investment MGM Resorts intends to make in this development will reverberate throughout the region by providing work opportunities for the members of the affiliates of the council that live and work in Westchester. But in their letters, they also cautioned failing to take advantage of MGM Resorts' role to become a substantial economic driver for New York would have severe unintended consequences for the region. The casino's closure would be an extraordinary blow to the region with substantial economic losses. Yonkers Raceway and Empire City have employed generations of Yonkers residents, helping them build careers, buy homes, and support their families right here in the city that they call home. Yonkers needs more career opportunities. And with a commercial casino license, Empire City will triple its workforce, creating 2,000 new jobs with an average compensation package exceeding $150,000 a year for full-time employees. For our team members who have childcare requirements, they'll be afforded MGM subsidized childcare benefits through our partnership with Care.com. These career paths are open to everyone, whether the letters attached to someone's education level are PhD, MBA, JD, or GED, or any others. Opportunities span marketing, finance, legal and compliance, human resources, food and beverage, gaming, and much more. And for those seeking additional education, the MGM College Opportunity Program helps employees earn undergraduate and graduate degrees at little or no cost. And just like our existing workforce, the majority of our newly created positions will be union represented, including dealer roles for live dealer table games that will replace the current electronic table games. These 2,000 new positions will also create increased entry-level positions, and MGM Resorts will provide the upskilling and reskilling for existing and new employees who are interested in these new positions. We'll launch our on-site dealer training school in partnership with SUNY's Westchester Community College with tuition subsidies provided by MGM. We're also partnering with the Hotel Trades Council to offer MGM-sponsored dealer training for its union members. And as mentioned earlier, MGM Resorts doubled the salaries of our employees when they acquired Empire City. They wanted to ensure that our team members could support their families without needing to work multiple jobs. And now we have the opportunity to create 2,000 new positions that will provide career opportunities for more Yonkers residents. Underemployment is a real challenge in our city, and these are careers Yonkers residents need and deserve. For 14 years, I have overseen Empire City's philanthropic efforts, and I have seen firsthand the impact of the incredible local nonprofits and community organizations. These same partners will help ensure equitable access to the new jobs we're about to create. We'll work with nonprofits, business organizations, union trades, youth and education organizations, and of course, our local elected officials to communicate these opportunities throughout the city. MGM's recruitment efforts will include in-person hiring and information events, an on-site hiring center, and on and off-site community hiring events in a variety of language to ensure that we connect with residents in every corner of this city. The training opportunities will include pre-employment job readiness trainings, curriculum and program development support, post-employment training, and upskilling and reskilling programs. MGM Resorts is recognized nationally as a best place to work by Forbes and other organizations because we invest in career growth, leadership development, and lifelong learning. More than 50 Empire City team members have been promoted in the past few years, and that career development is a priority for MGM Resorts. Empire City has long been part of the fabric of this community, as you all know, a preferred employer and committed philanthropic partner, and that is why dozens of letters of support from community partners were included in our application. Some of their comments are on this next screen, and I encourage anyone interested in reviewing all of the letters to do so in our application. MGM implemented a Canvas and grassroots outreach campaign that allowed us to talk directly to Yonkers residents, and more than 10,000 individuals signed petitions telling the state that they support a full gaming license in Empire City. A broad coalition of businesses, nonprofits, unions, and civic associations came together to educate communities on the positive economic impact a full casino license at Empire City would have for our region. This multi-billion-dollar private investment is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, one we must all actively fight for. For more than a century, this property and this city have been waiting to become the economic engine it was meant to be. That time is now, and with the support of the people of Yonkers and the region, I am confident we will succeed. Thank you, and I will now pass it back to Louis Theros.
Thanks, Taryn and Jonathan. So in closing, this proposal, as you've heard, is unfortunately a little longer than we wanted to, Mr. Chair, apologize, is a culmination of years of planning. It's a thoughtful expansion of our existing gaming facility, taking into consideration the comments of Yonkers stakeholders, and it provides substantial benefits to the city and community. Simply put, Yonkers and our employees have waited years for this project. They have earned it, and they deserve it. Thank you for your time. We look forward to your approval. Any questions?
All right, thank you for a very comprehensive presentation. I will note that we did receive a letter from the mayor, which has been distributed to all the CAC members, urging approval of the application and also supporting the community benefits agreement that you outlined. The deputy mayor's chair. So with that, I'll ask, do any members of the CAC have questions?
I have a question.
Larry.
The community benefits package. Can you post that somewhere, maybe on a website, or maybe print it so we can better understand? It's very comprehensive, and it's impressive to me.
It is posted, Larry. We got it late yesterday. I sent an email to the CAC members. It's on our website. And
on Yonkers City Yonkers website.
Well, it can go there too. It's on the CAC website. And I'm sure the Yonkers would like to put it on their website. Yeah. But if you go to the Gaming Commission and you look at the MGM CAC, it'll say additional materials, and the agreement is there. And it went up today, so you might not have seen it.
Okay. Just for clarification, it includes two sector cars, or one sector car?
Two sector police officers.
Two police officers and one sector car.
So that car's not in there, but we've talked about that, but we'll see.
Will that sector car be dedicated to Empire City, or will that?
No, it's for the whole, it's for the area. When it's there 24/7, it's in the area, but our understanding is that they can respond to calls anywhere as needed.
Yeah, because there's a sector car map, and we watched that, we looked at that. For the last 10 years, we've been asking for an additional sector car. It seems that the needs are going to increase now, with all the things we have going on, in Empire City. So we needed to set the car before you came along. And so, that's something, police protection that we're very interested in.
The plan, from my understanding, the 2 officers will be in Sector 2.
Okay. We look forward to reviewing it.
Okay.
Thank you again for including it.
Any other questions? Yeah, Joe.
Through the chair, Louis, first of all, you and your team, an extraordinary presentation in a condensed period of time.
Thank you.
I can tell you practiced.
It was 2.5 hours long when we started, so, we had to cut it down.
As someone who grew up across the street from Yonkers Raceway at the time, and as a 10-year-old, having had a shoebox, and on that off-ramp as you come in right across 87, I would shine shoes there. And I had a little sign that said Lucky Daily Double Lucky Shoe Shop. And all of these guys would come because they thought that would give them an advantage. So I know this site, quite vividly for so many years, and I think I know what MGM does, and really what they do best is the entertainment. And I think thematically this works so well, in my opinion, with what Yonkers' overall direction has been, with Lionsgate Entertainment, and this being the home of Lionsgate Entertainment and film and performing arts and the like. I think this will help to augment those efforts and raise the city not only as entertainment on the Hudson, but also on the east side. So I think that's important. Will, in fact, the theater, 5,000
Capacity, right.
theater, will that theater, will MGM give some sort of commitment to having its roster of entertainment participate in Yonkers on a regularized basis? Or will they, in other words, you sign up performers?
Yeah. Mhm.
And when those performers are signed up, will Yonkers be part of the group of facilities? Because knowing what you do is important, then knowing what you're willing to commit to is another, because that will be an economic driver, an economic development driver, to your point, for Yonkers. So that's a question I wanted to ask.
So often when we sign up, for instance, you're talking about artists in residency, people who are playing in Vegas, they often go on an East Coast swing, right? And so once this is built, I'm certain that we will include Yonkers in that East Coast swing. We've done it in Springfield, we've done it in National Harbor, we've done it at Borgata, and with this facility being brand new and being in New York, it will absolutely be on the list. And my experience as well is the notices have to go out generally months in advance. So the residents will know probably 4 to 6 months in advance before a show comes, just to get the ticket sales ramped up. So the calendar will be built in that way once this venue is completed.
I'm sorry, so Yonkers would be included in that roster of entertainment?
Yep.
And I was just going to add, Joe, I was just going to add that this theater has very specifically been designed to replicate the theaters in Vegas that have been and hosted, have been designated for A-list acts. And so this is a theater size with the acoustics, state-of-the-art technology that will be a perfect home for those A-list artists. And we're very excited to have it here in Yonkers.
I think that's important, given your the value of MGM's overwhelming entertainment. On design, sustainability. You didn't mention that in great detail anywhere. If I missed it, please correct me. How would your design incorporate the sustainability techniques of today? I myself, we're builder developers, and we build high-rise and commercial developments, and there's LEED status, there's passive house status. How have you, if at all, incorporated sustainability into this design, which we hope will take us into the next century, right?
Sure. We have incorporated sustainable design practices across all areas of the program. There will be components of the property that will be LEED certified. The LEED certification process, as it applies to existing buildings, makes that a little complicated for certification of those components, but we're going to have LEED certified projects in other areas such as the theater that will comply. And we're also including other sustainable platforms across the property, like the rooftop solar array that's going to be powering or helping to power the property and the complex as well. So,
And that's located on top of that parking structure.
Right. And the removal of the 5 acres of impervious surface is also a major sustainable feature of what we're doing.
Where will that 5 acres?
It's all over.
It's comprehensive. So there's components of that are being replaced on the north side of the property, as you saw with kind of those parking lots that exist currently along the slide along Yonkers Avenue. But then as you kind of if you go clockwise around the site, there's areas that are going to be asphalt that are going to be replaced with landscape, including some of that stormwater retention. And then towards the south side of the site, greening of the boundary along the neighborhoods, as well as that parking lot that sits south of the raceway.
And we can't stress enough, and you know, because you were in all these public hearings with us, one of the huge issues that came up with the community was existing flooding issues. And when the studies were done, it was shown that 53% of the water that flowed through our property, we have a reservoir next to us. There's a lot of issues that just go beyond our borders, but 53% roughly of the water would go into retention basins. It's now going up to 94%. It's a huge difference on what is going to happen if we're able to build this.
And Joe, we have a corporate sustainability department that does everything from water sustainability to electrical to gas, liquid gas, and they work with every property. Even my office up in Springfield, they control the temperature in my office when I'm not there. So if it gets too cool, if I leave the AC on, they're watching. So corporate wide, it's a big, big deal for us. And this project will meet the highest standards we can in those aspects that we can get there.
Just one more quick one.
Sure.
And this is a more localized issue. I've spoken to some residents, aside from Larry speaking to them every day. And there was some concerns on the southern end of the site for noise and sound, okay? Have you considered or have you incorporated sound barriers on that southern edge of the site on the McLean Avenue side of the site? Because I know a number of residents who approached me at a recent Westchester, Best of Westchester event and said, I understand you're on this committee. That's a concern of mine.
That's why I thank you for your volunteerism. You're gonna get a lot of phone calls.
Making the big bucks.
A couple of things we've done to address that. Yes, we've designed a barrier around the south side of the site, which we showed in one of the slides. That's primarily landscape based, so that'll provide some visual and sound attenuation at the south side. But in addition to that, when we looked at the site circulation around the site, we're moving a lot of the traffic away from that southern boundary further north. So we're taking a lot of the sound sources and moving them away from that southern boundary.
Yeah, I just want, you're very familiar with the site. The parking has always been to the south, over by where the single family home neighborhood is. By creating the parking garage and the covered parking and the convenient parking on the north side, that's only going to be used as an overflow lot on very rare occasions. So that complaints about late night or noise, that parking lot's just not going to be used very often. So I think that's the biggest change.
The noise barriers that Joe made reference to, those people live on Cumberland. They're complaining already about traffic that comes south on 87, gets off at Hall Place, and then has to get back on Central Avenue to go north. You got it? To your facility. So when they come, off of the throughway, okay, they have to enter the ramp that will take them to 87 North. That's Cumberland Street, Cumberland Drive, whatever it is. And those people have a steady stream of traffic. Now it'll be 24 hours a day, going by.
So one of the things because I come south on 87 to get there, I get up at the Cross County Parkway exit.
Yeah, well,
then you go south onto Central and turn left onto Yonkers Avenue. We can potentially work with the state DOT to to see if we can get some very specific signage that says Empire, MGM Empire exit here, because right now it just says Yonkers Raceway. And we've seen that effective at our other properties when we specifically put signage, basically saying this is the exit, and it has taken traffic away from other exits that people use. Because when I miss that exit, you're right, it's quite the turnaround to go back.
Right behind those people.
East, yes.
Right, and as you know, the people do that now because the entranceway is over on Central Avenue. It's the only way for them to access it. But now they're gonna come to Yonkers Avenue, make a left and go down to the main entrance. So we think that's gonna be a huge change.
I saw in your presentation, when you were talking about Empire Street and you were talking about the east end, I guess, of the property. I know that the retention basin is going to be along Yonkers Avenue, close to the east end. But I've got a lot, we've had complaints for years, for decades really, about Empire Street. You had a photograph of, tall evergreens. Will it really be tall evergreens along the east end over there on, abutting Empire Street?
We're not going to put them on the map if we're not going to do it. So
I didn't see them on the map. I'd like to see the map on the landscape.
it should be able to see it there because it's all laid out, the before and afters. So you'll see a lot of the additional trees.
All right. Okay.
It's over 1,000 trees that are in the plan that will be placed.
Any, there are a lot of rumors, and, I know that you wouldn't even comment on this, but a lot of people say because the parking lot that you referenced now, which is on the south side along Kimball Terrace where I live, is any plans to lease that out or to sell it or to spin it off? Or no?
It's like Mark said, it's hopefully going to become more of a quiet zone for the
good.
very few people. There's always a few people who like to park where they park because they're just habit, right? But I think once it starts snowing and raining, that habit will be broken quickly rather than waiting for a van to pick them up and go in the shelter of the garage.
I know that when you clear the snow, you use heavy equipment, loaders, dump trucks, and the reverse alarms in those vehicles go all night long. I can hear them from my house. And there's no way to disable a safety alarm on a truck. Right. Also, people that hit the panic button because they can't find their car, they don't remember where they parked it. That's a disturbance also that goes on all hours. So we hope to, can't wait to get rid of that.
Okay, I hear you. I
have an observation that leads to a question. You said that right now the city's getting about 27 million in revenues, it's going to go to 56 million. So if you look at the current Yonkers City budget, you'll see that the city collected about $440 million of property taxes in the current budget, right? So if you look at that 56 million, you say, well, that's equivalent to about 13% of all the property taxes that the city collects. So that's a very big number. And as I look at your economic study, and I look at, which is done by an independent consultant, pretty well known one, that study says that the failure to get this license would be catastrophic, make it very difficult for the facilities to survive at all. And then in your regional economic plan, which you put together, not the consultant, you actually are a little more blunt and say that if Empire Casino does not get a license and 3 others do get licenses, you predict it will close, which would be a pretty dire thing because the city would then have to raise taxes 13% to make up for the loss of what we would have gotten. Any comment on that?
The simple comment is that absent a substantial reduction in the tax rate that we pay, the multiple tax rates, which add up to 70%, with 3 other casinos that close, the viability would be called into question. Certainly.
I think that's an important point for everyone to recognize.
Yep.
Are there any other questions?
Just one quick question on the EMTs, just going along like public safety and whatnot. So if someone needs an emergency, your EMTs will take them to a local hospital, or would it be?
Yes, it's a little bit of both. We have YPD comes on property quickly, but our EMTs are there. We always work in conjunction, so it's like first in to help. So whoever's there to do it, we'll do it.
Right, but we have a contract. with,
Yeah,
with
Yeah,
them.
so they're taking them 99% of the time.
Current security, they're certified in life safety, so they are your first responders, but we also do have EMS on premise with third party right now.
24/7.
Separate contract, so not taking from the area.
Do we have any other questions from the committee members? All right, so two things. We do have a public hearing set for Monday, the 11th, at 6 PM in the Riverfront Library, which is where we are, in the auditorium.
It was Will Library.
Will Library. Sorry, Will Library.
We'll see you there instead of the other place.
We've got, at least the second thing I'm going to talk about, we've kind of gone back and forth a lot about where to have these hearings. So Monday, yes, it's at the Will Library, 6 o'clock. And we're going to stay as long as it takes for everyone to show up. I know, some of the committee members have said we need to have evening meetings at 6 o'clock, might even be a little bit early. So we'll stay as long as we have to stay. We can stay beyond the normal 8 o'clock closing time for the library. So anyone who comes, be prepared to stay until the last member of the public has had their say. The second thing is we are going to have our second mandated public hearing, I believe, on September 16th. And I would like the committee, before we leave today, to agree on the venue for that. I know we've exchanged some emails. So do we need to recess off camera and figure out where that's going to be and then come back and vote? Or are we comfortable with September 16th at 6 PM at the Montessori School? If any community members are not comfortable with that, we could take a recess and we can discuss it and then come back on camera and vote.
I'd like to discuss it.
I figured you would. So that's what we'll do.
So that's a tough date for me. But I got this team here and that's what day works for you, the team, that's fine.
Well,
Figure it
the
out.
thing about the public, the thing about the public hearing is not really for MGM
Right.
to make a presentation. It is really just for the public
Mhm.
to comment. It is not for the committee members to engage in back and forth. It's strictly public comment.
Okay.
We've had a lot of difficulty as a committee trying to figure out dates when we can all be.
Don't move it, we're good.
So it's probably, pretty important that you stick to that date.
That's
I
good.
think
Okay,
it's
that's
more-
fine.
More important, we get it done.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
So we meet the schedule.
Yes.
I'm gonna ask our camera people, we're gonna probably take a 5 or 10 minute recess. We will come back into session and we will vote, because I think the vote to establish the second hearing ought to be on camera so that people see it and access it. So this committee stands in recess. Everyone's welcome to stick around, why you want, I'm not sure. We're gonna do what we have to.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay, we are back from our recess. The committee took a little time to discuss our schedules and logistics, and we're ready to approve the date and time and place for the second public hearing. So the second public hearing would be at 6 p.m. at the Yonkers Montessori School, 160 Woodlawn Avenue in Yonkers. And if that changes, we will make a notification, but at this point, it looks like that's where we're going to go. So that'll be September 16th, 6 p.m., Montessori School, 160 Woodlawn. And a reminder, we also have a public hearing Monday at the Will Library at 6 p.m. So I would entertain a motion to approve the Montessori School at 160 Woodlawn.
So moved.
So moved. Do I get a
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approved. Thank you. So I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.